like to point out that during the reinterment, the city relied on the coordination and direction of Peter Piles with Roland Funeral Home. Roland's contracted with a Mennonite company to construct wooden coffins to match the time period. It was very important to us that we had that integrity. The relocation of the remains were handled in the most professional and respectful way, and Roland's graciously offered the services at no cost to the city. All 13 remains were reinterred to Mount Lebanon Cemetery, and a memorial service led by Pastor Andrew Evanson, pastor of Zion Evangelical Lutheran Church, was held in November 2010 to honor those individuals who were no longer forgotten. A monument was erected to mark the location of the reinterment. I'd like to just give a hand and recognize Roland's and the pastor of Mount Lebanon Cemetery. Bidding for the construction occurred in the spring of 2011, with the award going to J.D. Ekman. They've also done an excellent job. Construction of the 9th Street Bridge began in May of 2011. Here to talk about some interesting construction facts is Gordon Kirkesner, the city's Public Works Director. Gordon came along to the city at the right time. His past job expertise with these types of projects has been a tremendous help to the city. Gordon?
Good morning. Thank you for attending this ceremony. I may get emotional here because this is probably the last big project that I'm going to work on in my career. And I was born and raised here in Lebanon, so I remember as a child going through town to Coleman's Park on my bike and everybody complaining that we didn't have a bridge over the railroad tracks. It held everything up. So it's a satisfying and an honor to be here working for the city and helping to build the bridge. Okay, I'm supposed to give you some technical facts. I'm going to try to make this interesting. I guess the first thing I'm going to say is some of you people have even asked me, why is the bridge so high? Why couldn't we be a little lower, save some money, yada yada. But the Norfolk Southern Railroad dictates the railroad clearance over top of the tracks. And they have been operating for the last couple of years with what they call double-stack railroad cars, which are two trailers on top of each other on a lowboy railroad car, and therefore when you walk up on the bridge today, at the very top of the bridge, you will be 30 feet above the rail tracks. This bridge has two spans, each 73 feet and 2 inches long, with 6 pre-stressed concrete spread box beams for each span. Each beam is 4 feet wide and 3 feet high and weighs 35 tons. Every bridge has reinforcement steel in the footings, abutments, walls, deck, and parapets. This bridge has 333 tons of reinforcement steel, which cost $800,000. In addition to that, if you know what a pile is, it's like a nail in the ground, and at each abutment and pier there are 100 nails in the ground, 12 inches square, H-piles driven to solid rock. That doesn't include the number of piles for the walls. So an exceedingly large number of piles have been put in the ground, and they're only 3 feet apart, which means 1 foot clearance between each edge of pile. Another material in the bridge is concrete. This bridge has 6,000 cubic yards of concrete, and the material under the street and between the walls is not filled with dirt. The reason is because the requirements for behind structures is to have structural backfill, and the area that would have been in the middle, where the dirt would have gone, was so small that it was deemed economically feasible to only put back structural backfill. This is rock 2.5 to 3 inches in size, and that's all that's under here is rock. Some of you have had to construct or repair a curb or a sidewalk at your house, and I'm sure you've been disappointed in the cost of that. Well, this little project took on 10,100 linear feet of curb and 4,400 square yards of concrete sidewalk at a cost of $600,000. Lastly, the designer on the bridge put an accent piece in the concrete that some of us didn't realize was there until the forms were pulled away, and it was a keystone in the concrete. And everybody kept saying we have to do something to show the accent on the bridge and show this keystone. So the mayor and I got together, and I got on the internet, and the first thing that came up was the Pennsylvania Railroad symbol is red with white letters PRR. And the next symbol that came up was the 28th Division, Pennsylvania Infantry Division in the United States Army, World War II fame. Bloody bucket, it is plain red. Pretty obvious to us that it needs to be red. So if you folks, when you finish on the bridge and walk to the side, or when you're driving by on 8th Street, you'll be able to see the red bloody bucket or Pennsylvania Railroad symbol on this side of the bridge. There'll be another one on 10th Street. Thank you for your attention.